this thing actually starts. Fuck that up.
Hey, I can't hear. Oh.
Yeah, no, that was. Oh, that's because that there's a. I don't know if it's a short in that particular.
There. Yeah, okay. Hey, there we are.
I mean, granted, those are Sony headphones, but I only spent like $10 on them, so it's not like
I feel you on that one.
I wasn't shooting for the moon on that one.
Yeah, get your money's worth. I got a pair of Bluetooth ones, and they cost me like $30, and they're troopers.
Oh,
Because I plow through fucking headphone sets, because like especially the wired ones, because like you catch it on a fucking on a drawer, on a fucking door frame, on a door handle, and like you do that enough times, it like separates the copper and the fucking thing, and then all of a sudden one of your speakers goes out, and you're like, ugh, and then you start realizing how much it sucks to hear shit in mono.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, okay, this sucks ass.
I discovered something. Well, I decided because Jenny had she like about a year or two ago she spent a decent amount of money on some Bluetooth headphones. They're cheaper now.
Yeah.
I mean, meaning like still not cheap. I mean, they're still like 100, 140 or something like that. But she spent like a lot of money on these things, right?
Oh, word.
And so I'm like, oh, they finally came down on the price on the little AirPods, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm progressive, that's why I have Apple.
Oh,
And,
okay, yeah. Tim Cook all the way, baby.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's awesome, and I love these things. I love them. I've been using them all the time, and I'm like, you know what? There's kind of an issue with this though, is because they work so well. I can absolutely shut out the rest of the outside world.
Yeah.
If I don't want to listen to it, and. That's it's weird. I was walking through the supermarket and I'm like, everybody has a lot of problems. There's a lot of shit going around, and I don't have to listen to any of it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, yeah, exactly. And I was thinking of the comparison of how like social media is the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like if there's noise that I don't want to hear, I don't have to listen to it. Which is, I mean, that's true if you're in you could be walking down the street, I guess, and somebody's like screaming some really hateful, stuff on a soapbox. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to go somewhere else because I don't want to listen to that. But now you could still be in that same space with them and like put in your headphones and be like, yeah, guess what? Now my life is better, even though the shit is still actually happening. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I used to do. I mean, I go grocery shopping, fucking had the headphones on. Oh yeah. But now I don't have a chance to grab 'em. I don't want to lose them. And also, I just kind of just go, fuck it. Meaning, because, like, you can't just stuff a pair of fucking... They're like these ones, but they're Bluetooth. They're, you know what I'm saying? Like, the over-the-head thing. So you can't exactly just shove them in your pocket.
Right. Could be. We'll find some way to accessorize it, man, and be like, hey, shit. So, hey, guys, so we're on Wednesday instead of this Thursday because Jake's actually got a show he's doing tomorrow.
Yes, it's...
Ironton Distillery?
Yes, I think, It's the old Long Tucky. Mandy K still runs it, so yeah, it's that show.
They got some tasty beverages there.
Yeah, no, dude, their rum is good. It's too good, honestly.
Some of the I bartended for years, right?
Yeah.
And if you ask me to like anything other than a rum and coke, Long Island maybe on a Friday.
Yeah.
Any other than that, I'd be like, I'd be so pissed if you ask, can I get an old fashioned? I'm like, fuck you, like.
Yeah. I've been drinking the ones that I like is I like having lemonade and whiskey. Yeah.
Lynchburg lemonades.
No, well, yeah, but like I mean, having like basically like it's almost like a mix. It's a mixed drink. It's like a shot of whiskey and then some lemonade in it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Like on the rocks. I like that shit. It actually tastes good.
Yeah, it's basically a slightly less manly version of a whiskey sour.
Yeah. What's in it? What else is in a whiskey sour?
It's sour mix and whiskey and a cherry.
I don't want
tampon if you order it if you're a dude. But
no, I just like whiskey and lemonade. It's fucking
that's what it's. Like back in the 90s, bartending guys, there was a lot of fruity drinks.
Yeah,
because they figured out that hey man, like things like Planters Punch, Mai Tais, Long Islands and stuff if they're made right. Even though usually folks are like I can't taste the liquor in Long Island, I'm like it's because you're an alcoholic. So.
You
they
drunk fuck.
They found out like usually like it used to be like okay, how do you get more than 2 or 3 drinks out of somebody? If they're coming to your establishment in New York, they know that they're going to probably bar hop throughout because there's just so many bars and stuff, and everything's walking distance, right? Well, everything's walking there. So like, shit, how do we get people to keep drinking more throughout the evening instead of just drinking 3 beers for the night? No, fuck this. We need you to drink 9.
Yeah, yeah.
So they came up with these drinks that they're super, super tasty. The only problem is if you drink a Mai Tai, one of them, you're doing pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
2 of them, you're definitely drunk. Third one, you are absolutely smashed. Now, the thing is that you don't realize, you're like, oh, I'm getting really smashed. And I'm like, yes, and you also just drank about a gallon's worth of juice and sugar. So the amount of hangover that you're going to get the next day, the amount of times I would see people puke in the streets and stuff, it's basically, it's like, oh, no, I didn't drink that much. You drank a gallon of orange juice. Like, nobody is ever supposed to drink that much. So
unless you're sick.
Yeah, those things kind of went out of fashion, right?
Yeah.
Went out of vogue. And that's when, like IPAs and everything over the years kind of came back in. And now, then they started doing the mixology thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is I attribute it to hotel chefs versus short order cooks at an IHOP. All right, a short order cook at an IHOP could fucking burn through 20 tickets super fast because they know how to do. Or let's go even less skilled than that. Let's say you're working at a fast food, like at a burger place.
Yeah.
Right? Those guys could burn through way more tickets than a hotel chef ever could. Thing is, the hotel chef can make a much tastier dish for you. Right, so that's why if you ever worked in a street restaurant and then you go work in a hotel, you're like, why is this guy getting the weeds with 4 tickets? What is his problem? And he's like, because this is a different skill set. Yeah. So at all these mixology places, they started making these really, really elaborate drinks, which are fine. But then people started asking for those drinks. Like if you worked at a Chili's and they're like, hey, can you make this for me? And it's like Scottsdale was the worst.
Yeah.
Like when I would bartend in Tempe, that's college, that's ASU, that's frat boy country, right?
Yeah.
Scottsdale is the $30,000 millionaire place. It's just all the people. That's where all the rich people are.
Oh, Scottsdale. Okay, yeah.
That's all the places where people want, even they want to pretend that they're rich and whatever, and just a lot of freaking douchebags doing coke. So when they come to Tempe, they'd always ask for something really stupid, like, "Hey, can you get me an aborted fetus?" And I'm like, "What the fuck is that, dude?" And they're like, "You don't know what that is?"
Yeah.
All right. Can I get a ransom tampon? That like, what are you talking about? I could ask one of the servers if they got one. I don't know.
It's just a burlap sack full of fucking like horse meat.
Yeah, exactly. I need 3 shots of liquid cocaine, 2 Scooby snacks, and an oatmeal raisin cookie. And I'm like, dude. It's I don't know.
It's a Chili's. Relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we know the simple shit like sex on the beach. We can probably make that for you, or fucking Long Island iced teas.
Yep. Now, this place Long Tucky though.
Yeah.
I hated all those mixology drinks until I went to this place.
Oh yeah.
Because before I would like, just give me a whiskey on the rocks, man. That's all or bourbon on the rocks. That's all I want. Because I didn't want to be an asshole. And I'm like, you know what? Last time I was there, I was like, I'm going to get me a tasty beverage. I'm going to try something I never had before. And they had this pineapple chili rum drink or something like that. Oh, dude, it was absolutely fantastic. I'm like, okay, I can drink one of these, you know. And I felt it. Don't get me wrong, I felt it. But it's that's a small little place. That's exactly what it's designed for. That's all right. You're going to be waiting forever for your drink. There's no beer.
Yeah.
There's no food. It's just, but it's an awesome place. If you guys have to go check it out, if you're anywhere in the Colorado area on Thursday, head up to Longmont, Long Tucky Spirits, man. It's Mandy K runs a good show.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was excited to get on it, and this is like the 3rd week in a row that I have a show. That's it's like a showcase show.
That's awesome, man.
So it's everything's picking up. I like it, but it's fucked up because I can't get any bookings in fucking Denver proper, which is hilarious because everyone I work with is like, I want to see you perform. I'm like, well, do you want to drive to Longmont? Like, do you want to go to Boulder? Like, but I mean, I'm happy with the shows I got. I'm not bitching or nothing, but like, it's getting booked in Denver is kind of getting to be harder for me for some. It's because I don't go out in Denver. Like, I go out, but I just don't go out in Denver.
Right. One of the things that every single one of the Boulder paid. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, we're not going to say how much because, we're not assholes. Colorado Springs paid. The one that I got, Long Tucky, if there's tips there, like I actually made a little scratch there when I went there as well. So it's kind of like if you want to make a little bit of money at least and stuff, man, you got to kind of go out of Denver is what I've noticed lately.
I don't know if this show I'm doing tomorrow is a paid gig. It might just be a show. I think it's paid. I'm not sure.
It's basically whatever tips because she passes the bucket at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And all right. Cool. All right.
Oh, by the way, I will be in Sparge Brewery in Wellington, May 12th, which I've never been there, so this should be very interesting.
Is that the contest? What? Like what? Where's that one?
It's Jacob Urban Show.
Cool. No,
Yeah.
Jacob runs a fucking great show.
Yeah.
He always runs great shows.
He always does.
Jacob's one of those promoters where, like, on paper, when you first get on a show, like, say it's a new venue, you don't know anything about it. On paper, you're just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be good.
Right.
You know? And then you get there, and it's fucking awesome. Like, it's so good. Like, I've been to so many shows where, like, I get there, and, like, this is obviously pre-COVID. Now COVID's fucked everything up. But, like, you would get there, and it'd be, like, 50 fucking people there. They're all into it. It's a fucking dope-ass show. The crowd fucking loves it. You are on fire because, like, you're like, oh, my God, feels like a good gig.
Right.
And you end up crushing and getting paid a decent amount of money. People start, people like what you're doing. You get to, you know what I'm saying? And he's very good at picking venues and making. He could make a show in a porta potty fun. Like, I would, if he's like, hey Jake, I got you doing 15 minutes in a porta potty, I would do it.
Right.
Because I know it's probably gonna be fun. Like, because he runs such good shit. So yeah, definitely check that out. He's a hell of a fucking promoter, and I respect the shit out of him. He's a really good dude.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
unprofessionalism.
No, I know exactly. I'm trying to share the show. I was like,
Okay. But yeah, that's good. I should get a hold of him. He booked me on a show back in December, and that's when I had my COVID scare, when I thought I might have COVID.
Right.
So I fucking sent him a message telling him I couldn't make it, but I gave him like 3 days heads up so he could find somebody.
Exactly.
I did a show with him one time where both the headliner and the feature all bailed.
Oh,
they fucking bailed on him. Like, one was day of, and then one was like last minute. And then he ended up asking Louis Beck to headline, because we were Louis Beck was already on the show, and so was I.
Right.
But he asked Louis Beck to headline and bumped me up to feature, and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
So
promotion.
yeah, and I got a promotion because I think it's because Ben Roy had a show at the South Club right when the South Club was opening back up.
Oh.
And a lot of the comics were like, no, we're gonna go do this instead of going to that show. And I'm like, all right, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever. I love Ben Roy.
Yeah.
I would love to see Ben Roy. Ben Roy's like one of my favorite comics in the city, if not my favorite.
Right.
But like, you're kind of got booked to do this. You should fucking probably do it.
Yeah, unless he we don't know. Maybe really needed the money, and they're like, we're going to give you $500 if you come down and do 10
Oh,
minutes.
no, they were just there to see him, not be on the show. I mean, that's the...
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought Ben was booked, and he was like, oh, no.
No, Ben wasn't booked. Ben was doing a show at the club. He was already at the South Club. He was already booked. I think the feature and the headliner, I think they bailed on the show because they wanted to go see the show.
Yeah, that's
fucking
that's
weird.
pretty unprofessional.
It's not. Yeah, but it is what it is.
You know what? That's why he gives comics like us a shot to go work at a show.
Because he knows we'll fucking show up for like $75 or a drink tab.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, I'm just trying to get back into it again. I was always kind of in it, but not quite. I don't know. It's very, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you offer me a gig, I'm gonna take the fucking gig. Like, I'm gonna take it.
I think the only one that was were consistently that actually paid anything for the few shows that I was on in Denver, they were all run by Harrison Garcia.
Yeah.
Which I got to say hi to that guy and see how he's doing. But, yeah, I always feel like most of the shows in Denver, basically, you're working for drink tickets.
Yeah.
But that could be just like, I'm not in this.
I've gotten paid on shows before. Like, I mean, I've gotten on some shows, and I mean, I just haven't really been in Denver, any of the mics, and everything's weird right now here because there's one segment of the comedy of the comedy people here in Denver. There's one segment that's involved with one production company, and then there's another one that's at the old guard. And like,
well, the new one is what Savage Entertainment. Those guys are that. Shout out to Trey Blea. That guy is freaking like super motivated and trying to get as many shows and put some stuff together as possible.
Good for him. I'm not. I'm just not on his radar right now.
Yeah.
That's not his fault or mine. I mean, it's probably my fault, but if it's anyone's fault, it is mine.
That's his fault because he should have sought me out and actually.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, every showrunner should just be like,
"You should know who I am, goddammit."
Exactly. Hold on.
How dare you, sir?
We're forgetting about Dave Germain. We need to look him up. Come on, we can't forget him.
Come on, I got a video. The video that I always use is like from like 6 fucking years ago where my name is spelled wrong. Yeah, that's fucking great. I need a new video so fucking bad, it's ridiculous.
Right.
And also, it's like material that I don't even do anymore. Like, it's,
Right.
you know, like I gotta, like, it's just fucking stupid. I mean, it's a good video. It's like, it's not bad, but it's fucking dated.
Yeah.
And I just don't have anything new on tape, like on video. So it's, you know, it is what it is. But
Right.
I just kind of go on my rep and people vouching for me, which has hell. It's been working,
Right.
you know, plus, you know, whatever. But I don't know. Like Denver's another odd one. I don't know who to, I don't know what person to like kind of hook up with. I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean like in a business way.
Well, I do. Who the fuck to get on a show around?
Well, whose dick do I gotta suck? Huh? But yeah, no.
It just better be more than a drink ticket.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah.
here's a jelly donut. Like, oh, that's mean.
That is your drink ticket.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Drink from the spigot, bitch.
Yeah, come on. I just want 5 minutes. Like, so do I. Come on, get some. Like,
I want 5 minutes on this dick, son of a bitch. Get over here. Get over here. But and I got a new show coming up at Tenpenny Brewing in Littleton, off of Arapahoe Road. That's not till June 12th, and I haven't booked it yet. So, but it's happening. So, woo, we got a show.
yeah, at that point, I'll be needing a new co-host because I can't bitch about the comedy scene if this guy's actually part of it.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
you still can. It's fine.
I'm just kidding. I would.
Yeah.
But it was.
I might
like
start.
that,
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there going to rant like, are these fucking bookers? I don't understand what the problem is. It's like,
Yeah.
you're like, I'm right here, asshole. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Now, this got my juices flowing for like, I think I might try and find another room, but more, I might try and find one in Denver. Then I can have two, and that's, I mean, seeing what they're doing, and I don't know why I can't fucking do it. Like I know enough comics to where I can totally book shit.
Yeah.
Like and have I mean, I have a plethora. I can't even say the fucking word right. That the word?
Plethora.
Thank you. English is not my first language. Gibberish is.
Yep.
Fat-tongued idiot is.
He's doing his Biden impression.
Yeah. Never mind.
There's a time with a lot of things to say.
We got ideas and
man.
never mind.
Here's the deal.
Yeah. I like how he bails a lot. It's hilarious. He gets halfway through his sentence, he's like, fuck it. It's kind of funny to watch.
Like, you know what? Like, all the Trump jokes are done, but now I'm like, oh, no, there's a couple. Like, we're waiting a couple months before the Biden ones come out. Like,
people think his brain is failing. I don't think his brain's failing. I think his body's failing.
yeah.
Because that's what it is. Like, he knows what he wants to say. I could see it in his face. He wants to say this. But, like, the brain is not functioning with the mouth properly. I mean, that's obviously a sign of dementia, but... I mean, and maybe it could be, but what I'm saying is basically like, you could tell he knows what he wants to say, but like he just can't get it the fuck out. Yeah. Sorry, that's why I sometimes a lot of the times you'll be like, you know what, fuck it.
You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Yeah. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
dude. I don't know. I was going through some of like, you know, my Google headlines, which basically was like,
Yeah.
And I thought one of the funniest things was I saw, I'm like, I'm going to type in student loan because I know that thing is dead in the water.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way in hell that they're going to try to forgive any student loan debt. And so I'm looking and like, I see one headline is like, new options for students, you know, with like free community college and stuff, nothing for student loan debt.
Yeah.
And the other one, Biden is not doing student loan debt. The next one, Biden is forgiving a bunch of student loan debt. And I'm like, wait a second, what? This thing doesn't make any sense. And
No.
it was like from the Forbes site when I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But even the website looked weird. And I'm like, yeah.
I'm buying it.
I'm just going to keep trying to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope that, I mean, I just don't want them to, I just want them to quit taking money out of my check.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't been, but like they were before the COVID. They got me. So they were taking like 15% out of my fucking paycheck. So that was a pain in the balls.
I pay about $348 a month.
Oof.
So, but that's basically, luckily I got my car payment taken care of, which used to be $320 something.
Yeah.
So I'm really only paying like a little bit extra money per month. So I'm like, my finances kind of stay the same, but,
and I didn't get a fucking degree in it. I didn't even fucking graduate. And it was only like $7,000 and now it's like 16 because I avoided the hell out of it. I just think the interest part is fucked. Like if what they should for a compromise. It's just fucking. Why does it always have to be one extreme or the other? Like
hey,
it's either.
we're stopping all the interest payments on the stuff that's been around for 10 years. How's that?
Or how about we just get rid of all the interest in general? That way, like, you know what I'm saying? At least you
well,
can
there's
just
no way they're going to give away that money. That's the thing.
Well, then, I mean, I don't know. It's one.
I would say if they say, listen, we're going to stop accruing interest.
Yeah.
All right, which is slightly better than less than nothing.
Yeah.
But at least then you have a better shot of actually paying it off before you're 60.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
for me, I only owe 30 grand. And I only say that, I'm like, okay, that's like a really, really nice car. You know, I'm like, all right, technically I should be able to do that. There's a lot of folks and stuff. I studied theater, man. People study have doctor's degrees and shit. They're in for like 100 large, man.
If not, 2 or 3.
Yeah, two without, and I'm like, geesh, that's like, I can't imagine what it's like having the ability to be really, really rich and stable and then not being like.
Yeah.
Actually, I do because I'm technically I'm talented enough to actually be making way more money than I am right now. I just choose not to, which is fucking why I hate me so much.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, if you're like a doctor or you're like an engineer and stuff, and you're just drowning in debt,
I mean, I get the appeal of it, like not wanting to pay it. I understand that. That'd be great. But like, that would blow a hole the size of Nebraska through our fucking economy.
Right.
And all of a sudden, all this money that we're supposed to be paid back wasn't. It's so like when people are like, you should cancel it. I'm like, I get the argument not to, but at the same time, these people that are like, well, fuck you, you fucking took it out, blah blah blah. It's like, really, when I'm 18 and made a decision, and now I got to pay for it for the rest of my fucking life.
When I see old guys be like, well, was it were they defrauded? Did they know what they were doing?
Yeah.
Were they of legal age? And I'm like, you are a heartless piece of shit.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, you are a heartless piece of shit. I'm like, part of me, why not? You know what I might start doing? I mean, I don't like to post, other than shows that we actually create, I don't like posting shit on social media.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it's to me, it's futile. But part of me was like, all right, whoever this senator was, I wanted to be like, all right, where is he from? Cool. I'm going to start talking shit about that state. Be like, why did you fucking elect this piece of shit?
Yeah.
Like, this guy doesn't give a shit about your kids. Why did you do it? Like, why? Just because he's been there for a long time? I don't know. But then that always kind of brought me to, and I might have mentioned this on an earlier episode, as angry as I get about the world, and a lot of the injustice and the hypocrisy that goes on in our daily lives, if I really gave a shit, I would do something about it. But apparently I don't. Like, I want to think that I do, and that I care, but actions speak louder than words. If I really, really cared, I would actually get involved. I bitch so much about how the management ran things at the restaurants that I've worked at that I finally got tired of bitching and go, fine, then I will be a manager and see if I could do a better job.
Yeah.
Some ways that I did, and some other ways not so much. So, but that was something that I rather than just bitch and moan all the time, I did something about it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, took on responsibility. All right, great. I'm not going to freaking run for office. I don't care that much to do that. It's not that I don't think that I could do it. I really just don't want to. I
don't blame you.
And it's, I mean, that's just a hypocrisy on my part, and I acknowledge that. But I don't know, just folks on social media like, we need to do something about it. I'm like, all right, go ahead, you first.
Yeah, in running for office, man, the higher you go, the more of a sociopath you got to fucking be. Because you have to fucking give no fucks about what anyone's saying about you. Mm-hmm. They're going to dig up every fucking thing they can fucking find on you. And trust me, no one's clean.
Oh, no, I got some horrible shit.
They're going to rehash a bunch of old shit. You're going to have to defend your character for a job that doesn't even pay that much.
Yeah, the only person who ever got through that was Donald Trump, and he was not the nicest guy.
Well, because he didn't give a fuck. He didn't play. He did not care.
Yeah,
and they were actively trying to get him the whole fucking time.
And unfortunately, that's a really, really admirable characteristic of somebody. If you want somebody to be strong, so they don't give a shit what other people think about them.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, honestly, like you kind of have to. I mean, in a weird way. I mean. Not like Trump, where it's just like.
Yeah.
What's funny is like I like when one of his like rivals fucks up. He doesn't like trash him. He's just like, oh, that's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a real shame. That's all he says, and I'm just like, oh fuck,
yeah.
But no, but like I mean, I used to give way too much of a fuck about that, like people's opinion about me.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I want to be a good person to people. I'm not a dickhead. I try not to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
All that stuff like that. But sometimes people just don't like you, and you just can't let that bother you. Because if you let it bother you, that means that their perception of you is weighing on you and it doesn't have to. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it doesn't matter. I don't know.
No, it totally is. I always find myself in that, and this kind of goes along with our theme and stuff. Is that it's difficult to try to be a good person. It's difficult to be a good,
especially nowadays. It's so easy to fall into the abyss and be so nihilistic and just not give a fuck.
Yeah, hence the headphones.
Yeah,
I could listen to everybody tell me what a horrible person I am, or I could just put these little earbuds in and start listening to Offspring's new album. There was. I caught myself a couple times today having violent fantasies about hurting customers at work, and
the restaurant business will fucking do that to you, though, man.
I wish this was a bit. I wish I was joking, but there's times where like I am in full blown fucking anger, like God, you know, and I'm like, I'm in my studio. Nothing is happening right now. Why? And it was, we had this little old lady who comes in and always tries to get something for nothing, complains, and just try to runs people around. So I already seen her do this once before. And so when she came in, I started giving it back to her, and I started being really, really difficult. Like, what? Wait a second. What do you mean you want this? That's not what you said. You want it with, no, that's not what he said. And I'm like getting in her face about it. Yeah. And she's like, I ain't trying to do this all day. And I'm like, I ain't trying to hear it either. You want this food or not? And it's like, and so because I'm like, all right, fucker, this is like, I'm fucking learned this business in New York, bitch. You think I give a shit about what you think about me? Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it's weird because some of the other guests that were watching this, and they were like, you handle that really well. And I'm like, yeah, I try to make it more difficult for her to order every single time she comes in, hopefully that she'll stop coming in. Yeah. And they go, you know what? Like, once I calm down and once I kind of get out of my own way, if I'm going to be really honest with myself, I'm going to try to be a caring person that I think that I want to be. Probably have to admit that conversation and that argument she had with me was probably one of 3 conversations she had with people that whole day. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is an old lady whose health is failing. She's using a walker to get around. Oh man. Yeah, exactly.
Oh Jesus.
It's the restaurant industry. Like, you're being really mean. Yes, I am. Like, and no, I don't feel bad about it because I treat people exactly how they treat me. I always treat people how you want to be treated, and when that doesn't work, treat them exactly how they're treating you. That's exactly how
shine a mirror on them.
Yeah. So like, but either way, that, and there was another guy on Sunday. Sunday families and stuff who normally don't go out try to get something for nothing. And there was like, well, he did it for me last time, and I'm like, all right, whatever, man.
Have you seen the IKEA guy?
Oh yeah. Shout out to that dude.
Yeah, it's on TikTok, or it's all over Facebook too.
You sure?
Yeah. Like he'll say something that the customer will say, and then he'd just be like one of my favorite was, I want to talk to your manager. Oh yeah? Well, I want to talk to your mother. And I was like, what? Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. She raised a little baby that whines in public.
It was great. It's great. It's fucking hilarious.
Like, I was trying to find a way to I tried this premise at the Sunday mic, and I think it upset Armstrong.
Wow, what's that?
Because it was a little too mean, or I don't know. It was something about like, do you understand, like, if you work in the service industry, that you care about human beings less and less every year? Yeah. And when they're like, we need to do different standards so that way we can keep people safe so they don't die because of this COVID, from this virus. And I'm like, you are asking the wrong fucking people to help you save humanity. Yeah. That is really, really not the ones that you want.
Man, people in the service industry do not give a fuck about you. They just don't. Like, they pretend like it's like
to keep your job. But,
but it's like the people who don't work and patronize into this, like, situation. Mm-hmm. They're all like the same guys that think that the waitress is hitting on them. Yeah. And shit like that, yeah.
Or basically, they're going to try to get, I don't know, or, by the way, here's a heads up. I'm going to sound really misogynistic right now. The female version of that counterpart of the asshole guy is way fucking worse than, it's like Mother's Day is coming up.
That's why I don't work in the restaurant industry no more.
Dude, it's going to be really tough. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of edibles. And
just
so
numb out.
If it starts getting really, really bad, I'm like, guys, you either can mellow out and actually have some patience, or I'm giving edibles to every one of the staff right now. All right? And food's going to take a fucking lot longer. Yeah. You know what? What, you're going to fire us? There's nobody's going to replace us. Yeah. Like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's, I hated that fucking day. There were 2 days that I hated the most when I worked in the restaurant industry. This is when I was back when living in New York. Mother's Day was obviously one. We had a flood one time. We had a flood in New York in fucking Utica. It was bad. Like to the point where the Mohawk River and the Erie Canal actually fucking flowed over and became one.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is not good. But we actually had people trucked in because they closed the road to our fucking restaurant. It was like we were rescuing them from not having mother. It was weird. Like they're in the back of a fucking like a transport vehicle like that you would see in some country that like is bringing in troops, like that kind of shit, like in a big green van with a covered tarp over it, and they'd be jumping out of the back of the hat of the fucking pickup or whatever.
Potato skins.
Yeah, yeah, and we were busy that day. People want to go out, and it was just a nightmare. But also we had another day too called there's a race in Utica called the Boilermaker, right? And it's a 15K race, and it's like the big thing in town. It's huge, right? And thousands of people come to Utica because there's no other real reason to come there.
Yeah, they run a marathon right through all the poverty.
Yeah, pretty much. So
it helps you get motivated.
Yeah. Like, oh god, this is fucking Cornhill. We gotta run through this fucking bang, 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 bang.
Guys, all these people asking for change. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have any. I just got his orange slice.
Yeah,
take it.
They're hurdling bums. It's fucking great. But like the Saturday night before, it's on a Sunday morning. Saturday night before, they give out free pasta because the carb load, you know what I mean? And some people literally just get a fucking number in this race just to get free pasta the night before. So they would get like free like spaghetti meatballs or simple shit, like nothing crazy, you know? And we would get fucking bum rushed the whole day. Like to the point where the printer is spitting out tickets so hard that they're touching the ground.
Oh, jeez.
Those fucking days. Oh my fucking god. Yeah. And it was only the pasta station, obviously. So like I'm watching the pasta station just fucking eat a bag of dicks. And I'm standing at the fryer station being like, and then that night we got fucking decimated on the fryers, and I'm running around like a chick with my head cut off, trying to like cook about fucking 80 orders of this and 80 orders of that.
Oh.
And this is where like the tough love thing comes in because of where I'm from. No one helped me. No. They stood at the line because pasta's done. Yeah. They just stood there, looked at me, and laughed and said, "Look at this motherfucker buckle." That's how they were saying. "Oh, look at him, he's buckling. Oh, he's a buckling," and nobody would help. Oh. Nobody would. I got waitresses yelling at me, "Where the fuck is my food?" I'm like, I'm fucking trying. Like we used to make our own fucking onion rings. It wasn't like pre-breaded. It was like we had to bread them. So so I'm like cutting onions and I'm like pushing out the fucking like making rings. Oh, you know what I mean? In real time, and it was
that's fucking horrible.
Oh, it was
Whoever came up with that idea as an asshole.
Yeah, no, because we would prep them. We'd have like bags of them prepped, but we did not. We were so like on the ball about the pasta, that we did not assume that night we'd be getting hit with like bar food.
Ugh.
So we get hit with bar food. So I'm making samplers, I'm making rings, I'm making mushroom fritters, which is basically the same beer battered mushrooms and shit like that. And you know, some guy would order mozzarella sticks and then you forget about them, then they explode. Yeah, it's just
you set out like basically like 4 tubes of crust.
It's just empty. It's like the fucking cheese in the thing got raptured. It's just a husk.
Why do these onion rings taste so cheesy and there's no cheese in my cheese stick? I
don't know. Fuck you. Eat it and shut up, fucker.
The gods of the restaurants hate you.
I mean, like that's the kind of shit I used to fuck. And and no one fucking would. No one cared. They just made fun of you the whole time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things, dude. That's just people don't understand. Like it's not that we don't like you. It's just like we don't want to hear your bullshit because there's always an angle. Yeah. There's always an angle. You just want free shit.
Right.
And management will cave to you in a second.
Most of them will. Yes.
Yeah, and they will.
That's one of the things that I always made it a point not to kind of do with. When I was managing, because I always say, hey, listen, if there's a problem with us, if we're the problem, let's see what we can do. You know, we handle it one way. If the customer is the problem, I'm going to handle it a different way. You know, and I always let them know, let me do that. Like, I'll try to find a way and stuff. Like, there's some folks, like, for me, I will rarely ever take food off a menu. Like, it has to be something like somebody's dick is still inside of somebody's pasta before I'm going to take it off the plate.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you didn't want dick in your pasta. Okay, I'll get you a new dish. Well, do I get in? Like, no, it's not. I don't give a shit if you're happy. I already got your fucking money. Like, you know, and it sounds like really mean. That's not how you do business. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I've been working in the restaurant for over 25 fucking years. I'm going to tell you right now, with every regional doesn't give a shit if you're ever happy or not. The VP doesn't give a shit if you're happy or not. All they care about is, do I have my fucking money or not? And so, as long as I make sure the restaurant has their fucking money, that's the only thing it is. I'll find new customers. Yeah. And that's exactly, now granted, that's what I have observed in the industry. What the regional and everybody else will tell you, no, we have to take care of our customers. You're not the one who's dealing with it. They're not. Yeah. They're always sending either the server or the manager and stuff like that. This one who's basically has to actually talk to the customer. Who's basically lying their ass off to get free shit.
I mean, if you make a massive fuck up, that's one thing. Yeah. But like if it's something that's simple and they're like, and they want their whole meal comped, get the fuck out of here.
I'm not doing that.
No, dude.
You're going to lose a customer. Good.
One of my lowest points in my life, and by the way, I had a wife cheat on me at Disney World, and this is not it. This is one of the lowest points in my life. I was working at a pizza joint here in town. Oh, I'll just say who it was. Sexy Pizza, right? Working up in the Highlands. Oh, I'm sorry, Jefferson Park, you pretentious fucks.
They changed it again?
Well, no, it's just a part of the Highlands. Oh. Because I've said, we're in the Highlands. Actually, you're in Jefferson Park. Yeah, sure. All right, there, whatever.
It's still the north side, fuck it.
Yeah, you know, right? Yeah, tell that to a Mexican dude with a fucking Nebraska hat on.
Yeah, exactly. It's the north side, eh?
Yeah. But no, this one we were getting rammed right up to our ass this one night, and this lady calls and goes, "Where's my food?" And it's, by the way, 45 minutes it's been. Yeah. And in fact, I was about to load it up and get it the fuck out for delivery. And she's like, "Where's my food?" I'm like, well, you know, it's on its way. We're really busy. And she's like, "Oh, this is like the third time this has happened." Yeah. By the way, if this is the third time this has happened, what the fuck are you still ordering from us? But I was like, "I'm sorry about that." But she's like, "Oh, well, you know what? I have some advice for you. You should just stop doing delivery, okay? You stink at it. Just stop doing it." And at that point, I hung up on her.
You're like, "Oh,
mid-sentence."
Like, "Oh, you don't want your delivery? Okay."
Yeah, no, and I just hung up on her. I was like, I don't need this shit in my life. I hung up on her. But it was one of those situations where you hang up on her, you hang up a person, and you know they're going to call you right back.
I'm going to call him right back. I'm like, you know what? They're like, "Listen, I need you to pick this up and tell her that our manager just walked out and quit."
Yeah, no, it gets better. Because there's one of the drivers who's making boxes because his shift was over, so he's making boxes. And he looks at me because he knows what's going on. He's like, uh-oh. And I'm looking at the phone like, "Oh, no, don't call back." And, of course, she calls back immediately. Phone rings, and I just look at the fucking phone. I'm just like, take a deep breath. Pick up the phone. "Hello, Sexy Pizza. Did you just hang up on me?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." I'm like, "Fuck it, I did. I totally hung up on you." Yeah. She's like, "Why'd you do that for?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, you're yelling at me. Secondly of all, you're giving me terrible business advice. You're telling me to literally cut out half of my business because you're not happy? That sounds fucking stupid as hell. Yeah. You are just a conceited asshole for saying that." And she's just like, "That is unprofessional." I'm like, "I don't
like, yes, you're right. You're talking to a pizza place. It's called Sexy Pizza."
Yeah, we don't. I'm like, "I don't care." I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I mean, I can comp your shit just to make you happy and shut the fuck up. You know, I didn't say that whole part, but I offered the fucking comp her shit just to make her go the fuck away. And then I had to go do a show at a weed event where I got real high, and then left my phone at a Waffle House in the Springs, and then I went back to get it the following night. Couldn't get it. This all ties in the story, trust me. And then Monday morning, I drove all the way back to the Springs, got my phone finally. The reason why is because my manager, the owner, was blowing up my email and calling me, demanding that I apologize to this woman. And I was like, so I get my phone back. It still had some power left, you know, so I'm reading all the messages. I get to work on Tuesday, and we have a manager meeting, and he demanded that I call her and apologize. And I did, because I'm a bitch. And I felt like I sold out. I felt so bad.
I hate those feelings. We've all had it at some point where it's like, all right, do I have my rent paid yet? This is why it's important to save money.
Yeah, because I would have loved to have just fuck you money, you know, and even like a molecule of it. Yeah. If I had enough money to like pay my next month's rent and pay my bills and be able to to not have a job for like a month, I would have never done that. I'd have been like, "Fuck you, eat my dick." and then would have walked away and been like, I guess I'm done with this job.
Right.
But I couldn't because I was fucking broke at the time and I was just living paycheck to paycheck, which is still kind of true.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a place to live. I don't have any family here. I can't like crash at my parents' house. They're fucking gone.
Right.
So like I kind of had no choice.
It's always that dream thing. You want to be like, okay, tell you what. Before I go call this person, what's your phone number? You got her phone number? Great. I'm going to put on my phone, call her right now. Before I ask, how much money did I make you versus how much money did you make off of this one person?
Yeah.
Think about that. Listen, you fucking cunt. Fuck you. I ain't doing this. Fuck you, too.
Yeah.
And then walk out.
Oh, I wanted to, yeah.
But the thing is that you have to plan for things like that.
Yeah, you just can't, because I've done that before too, where
I've seen dudes do that where if fucking unloaded on me, they're like, fuck you, Dave, I fucking hate this job, and I'm like, all right, they walk out. I usually don't react to it and stuff, and then like a day or two, I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You're fucking gone. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you have a bad day? Did you have a temper? Oh, you say things that you don't mean sometimes? I'm not your fucking girlfriend. I don't fucking love you. Get the fuck out of this restaurant.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, when you do that, you have to also accept the fact.
You got to stick that land.
Yeah, no, not just that. You have to also accept the fact you are never going to work here again.
Yeah, you'll be lucky if they mail you a check to the right address.
You are burning. It's like you can't cross a bridge that you've burned. You just fucking can't do it.
Right.
And which is, I mean, I get it. I've burned bridges, and it's not a healthy way to do things.
Regretted every one that I've done.
All but a couple.
I've only done it twice, but still, I felt bad about it.
Oh no, the restaurant job I had in New Hampshire, at the Pizzeria Uno, like that one, I quit epically, and I still to this day think it was a great idea.
Hey, I quit epically, like in the middle of a rush on a Friday. My job at Pizzeria Uno. Maybe.
Oh no, yeah, mine was I was a dishwasher. Yeah. This is when I just got out of my divorce, so I'm dishwashing now. It was, you want to talk about low. Oof. If I owned a gun, I would not be here, and half of my head would be all over the fucking wall. Right. Let me put it to you that way.
It'd be in that numeral.
Yeah.
It'd be part of the shroom pizza.
Yeah. But we had like a little sink thing on the side of the dish station where you throw all the ice. Yeah. And the pipe that connects to the fucking with the drain separated, and someone turned the water on to melt the ice, so all the water goes all over the floor, and servers are still fucking throwing ice and fucking shit like that into the fucking thing, and it's just all over the floor. It's like a pond in front of the fucking thing, and one of my managers stepped over the pond, like the puddle, or the huge puddle. It goes, oh, someone's gonna have to clean that up, and I just snapped, because I was like, I had it. I put some dishes away. And he's like, the manager goes, you going to clean this up? I go, are you going to go fuck yourself? Yeah. And he's just like, excuse me? Because he did not see this coming. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, dude. And I had a squeegee in my hand, and I threw it like a javelin into the fucking dish pit. And I look at him, I go, fuck you and fuck everything you're about, you piece of shit. And I walked at the fucking emergency door, kicked the emergency door wide open. And as I left, I was like, eat my dick, you piece of shit. And then went to my car, and one of those fucking servers was running out after me. And I get to my car, and she's like, Jake. I go, if you're trying to get me the fuck back in, then you can go fuck yourself too. And she goes, no. She looks at me, she grabs me and goes, that is the awesomest thing I ever saw in my life.
That is the most epic swan dive off the job that I'd ever seen.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, bye. And then like when I went out drinking with everyone after work.
There's the customary thing, and then everybody forgets who you are.
Yeah,
later and stuff.
It's dude, restaurant work is the funniest shit, because like you feel like you're a family, and then as soon as like you leave, you don't know any of them anymore.
Hey, do you want to hang out? Like, why?
Yeah, well,
we're gonna work together.
Get the fuck out of here.
Jeez. I had a whole thing about for my 5 minutes today. We haven't actually talked about. There's one current event that I wish I knew more about, but I'm just going to say rest in peace to Chris Carlton.
Yeah, man.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. I thought he was doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, the last post I had seen from him, other than his artwork and stuff that he'd been kind of focusing on.
Was him in the Clockwork Orange t-shirt?
Yeah. And he said, hey, post-breakup diet is working. I'm down so many pounds and stuff like that. And then the only thing and this is not even confirmed, I asked another comic who posted, I'm like, do we know what happened? And he's like, it's possibly heart attack or something. Oh. And Chris is the same age, like at the same age as us.
Yeah. I'm pushing 40, man. That shit's in my radar. I know that.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, holy shit, man. Yeah. So it was freaking That really, really sucks. It's pretty weird because it's like, whether it's in this scene or another scene, it's about one per year.
Yeah,
One comic, one. I mean, maybe just because it's just the laws of averages, how many people you know in one particular scene.
Yeah.
But one comic dies every year.
It's
sometimes it's out of blue, sometimes it's a car wreck. A lot of times it's suicide. You know.
Yeah.
We have no
unfortunately.
idea what this was, but I know that Chris ran a really good mic in Arvada. That's about the extent that I know him. I wasn't close friends with him at all, but it's sad to see one of the community go.
Yeah. No, me and him go way back. I haven't seen him in a hot minute, to be honest with you. And I felt weird about saying anything about what happened.
Right.
Because I haven't really responded on Facebook or any of that stuff. And I feel terrible. Like, the guy, well, he was not a bad dude. In fact, he got fucked so hard by that fucking idiot, Cameron versus Humanity, and that was like his business partner. He fucked him over.
Oh.
And, and then he just never really got back into it. Like, he was like one of the guys, like, what's going on right now with Savage Entertainment, like, he was basically like one of the guys who was trying to do shit like that back in like the early teens of 2010, like, we're talking like 2013, 2012, all that.
Right.
He was one of those guys. Like, he would book Herman's Hideaway. He'd do this. In fact, the video that I referenced early in the fucking podcast about how it's really old and out of date, he brings me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was hosting that show. And I know him. Like, if we saw each other, he'd be like, "Hey, Hamill." I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Carlton?" We would talk and all that stuff like that. But like, we didn't really hang out a bunch. We didn't really. It just we happened to be on shows a lot together. And it's just people are just dropping like fucking flies, man.
It's weird.
It's weird, dude. Like, he's like the fifth person this calendar year that I knew personally that had died.
Wow.
It's just all happening real fucking quick. And it's none of it's from COVID. That's the fucking funny part.
I don't even know, like I said, I don't even know what it was, but the same thing is, like, I asked that one question from that one comic if they knew anything.
Yeah.
I even had to preface it, and I'm like, listen, I know you and I aren't real, I mean, we know each other because we were on a show together.
Yeah.
But, I mean, do you know any, I'm just curious, do you know anything? Not that I was trying to get gossip or anything like that, but it's like, I don't know. It's that they told me what it is, but there's a lot of folks like, oh my gosh, I'll be really missed, and I didn't want to post something where I'm like, I didn't know him that well. I don't want to be one of those.
Like, that's
not to say that the people who were posting stuff like we're gonna miss him were that type of. But
I don't want to be full of shit and be like, he was a really nice man, and I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not talking ill of him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be talking on my ass either. Like, I didn't know him that well. And it feels bad for everyone who does.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. It's gotta suck. But like.
You know what's the weirdest thing, though? Somebody posted a picture. He's like, I can't believe that he's gone, and it was an old flyer.
Yeah.
And, it was on the top left is him.
Yeah.
The top center is Jordan Waliba.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and then there was a bunch of other.
And
comics.
it was pre-transition.
No, this one was actually post-transition.
Oh, no,
she was already transitioning.
There's one that I saw where it was pre-transition.
Oh, it had to go to.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember seeing that one when Jordan died, and somebody was like, I didn't know all the changes that she had made since the last time I spoke to her, but this is the last memory that I have, and some folks got really pissed off about it.
I never had it. I was very.
But it's just weird seeing that like two of those people that we knew are gone, for very different reasons.
Jordan was always cool. I know. In fact, I talked to her a bunch. She was, because I was jealous of her because she got to do like a big thing at the Boston Comedy Studio.
Oh.
and I was like, oh man, I always wanted to fucking perform there and never got a chance to. And she got to, and I was like fucking jealous. But I was like not jealous like in a bad way. I was like jealous, like envious in a way, but also like I wanted to like talk to her about it and just see how she thought. But no, the Chris Carlton thing it
came out of left field.
Yeah, man. Like I had a friend of mine, actually this coworker died not too long ago. She was a bad drunk though. Her liver just failed on her. That happened. I had an old friend of mine that was actually at my wedding, who was the owner's son of the moving company I worked for. He fell off a fucking boat.
Whoa.
In Florida, just recently, and then there's that. So like some other people, it's just a weird year. No. And I can't. And my uncle died. My uncle fucking Rick died, but he also had a heart attack. But then again, he used to smoke fucking like unfiltered Camel cigarettes.
Like a man.
Yeah, and drink Moxie. None of you know what the fuck that is. It's a New England thing. It's basically like sweetened tar. That's what it tastes like. It's fucking awful, but people who love it, love it. Yeah, it tastes like shit. I never got it, but some people like it, but
Right. But yeah, either way, I just want to say, rest in peace to Chris out there, man.
Yeah, man.
So you know, it's this kind of leads a little bit, not Chris Carlton, that doesn't, but the idea of trying to be the best person that you can be. Right?
Yeah.
That was one of the things we were trying to talk about, and we were talking about like a couple weeks ago, affirmations.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when I'm not saying that affirmations are bullshit, because they're not. Sometimes, like, dude, if I'm massively overweight, right, and if I can exercise all day today and bust my ass, and I'm going to change my life. Thing is, tomorrow I'm still going to be fat, right? So sometimes those changes that you want aren't going to be coming as easy as quick as you want. So maybe you do be like, no, I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
This is going to change. That type of stuff I totally get.
Yeah.
Right? And so we were trying to figure out a way, how could we do affirmations for our audience out there at Mansplaining? And I think we came up with something pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah. Here it is for this, and this will be up on YouTube and Facebook shortly after. But check it out, guys.
Enjoy.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're perfect the way you are.
Sure, you're overweight, ugly, and just generally unpleasant to be around.
But that's their problem.
Be who you want to be, not what others tell you to. When people tell you to be less outgoing, or less vulnerable, or less racist, just tell them that you are owning your truth.
No one should have to fit into another person's mold.
You shouldn't have to do what others tell you to, nor should you have to show up to work on time.
Or at all. They should just give you money and let those other plebs just work.
Don't let yourself be manipulated by others.
Don't let them tell you that you're being emotional, irrational, just generally deluded.
As a matter of fact, never question your involvement in any type of conflict.
Remember, it's always their fault.
Don't let others try to take your power or gaslight you into thinking that you're the problem. If they didn't like you when you were mad,
They should have never made you angry.
you're not losing at the sports ball game of life. You just haven't figured out how to move the goalpost yet.
Then you'll be a winner.
It's not that people don't find you attractive.
It's just that you have to convince people to lower their standards so you can be attractive.
Cut everyone out of your life that doesn't think you're perfect the way that you are, especially your friends and family.
Your mother, your father, your whole family, people you know in real life. There's 7 billion people. You can find more family
You'll always have the internet.
to hold you at night.
That is
It's our affirmations a la Mansplaining.
yeah.
So we're gonna catch so much shit for that, assuming that anybody
I
actually
think it's-
watches it. But I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. It's funny. I think it's funny. I mean, granted, I'm patting myself on the back here. Well, half me, half you,
Yeah,
because we're both in it. But like,
hey, we
it's,
came off looking really good in that.
yeah. I was like, I'm not, and I'm wearing the same shirt.
Yeah.
This happened multiple times. We've been on a skit, like, and we fucking film it. And the day we air it, I'm wearing the same shit I'm wearing the fucking day of the shoot. I don't really plan my clothing out that well.
You're like, hey, you know what? I keep it real.
I dress like a 10-year-old kid in 1997 who thinks he's still cool. Hockey jerseys to a wedding? Fuck yeah! Oh God, I'm done with that shit. Oh, that's all right. All right.
We gotta figure out what we're gonna do for the next. I only got about 21 day or 20 days left on the Final Cut Pro.
Oh really?
Thing before I actually have to buy it.
How much is it?
Been a problem. Oh, it's gonna be 300, but the which wouldn't have been a problem had my car not need a new transmission.
Oh,
So,
that's a bummer.
because otherwise I was planning on just doing that. But then,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's. Oh my gosh! I'm wondering if my sisters is gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, man, listen. I mean, I've been seeing it a lot with other people too.
So basically, what made the joke funny? Not that we need to explain it, but the idea is that there's a difference between giving yourself an affirmation and then lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Just to make yourself feel better.
And I've been seeing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a bummer because it's from and it's happened with people that are trying.
Yeah.
They're trying, but like they're not trying hard enough.
Or they're
Sorry,
just
the
not putting
McDonald's
the
8 is coming back up again.
Or they're just
Ooh,
not,
I'm 40 years old. It sucks.
But or it's there's always like one little thing that maybe like okay, if you got a problem, let's say it's cut into 10 different pieces.
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes you could be dealing with 8 of those pieces doing really well, or even 9 of them, but that one thing that you're not dealing with is going to undo everything else.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
so it's really tough, and sometimes that thing is constantly changing. You're like, fuck, it's difficult to actually become and change who you are as a person and actually be a better one. Like it's tough, but
yeah. Not to jerk myself off here. I'm not really.
please not here.
Why not? We need more. Come on, we got. Come on, we got to get more people in this room. I mean, I got to do something, man. My mom all of a sudden clicks in. Oh no! Oh fuck! No, I meant that like, not like in a literal sense, but like in a figurative sense. I have kind of done some things that I've changed that are actually working. Like, I used to be one way, now I'm a whole different way. Like I'll give you an example. I don't want to bring this up honestly. I asked a lady on a date recently, and then today, she texted me and said, "Hey, like I can't make it. I don't feel well." Yeah, which is fine. And I was like, "Hey, I hope you feel better. We'll do it again some other time." And she's like, "Totally." And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. It's just it's a bummer. I was stoked because I was like, I got over the fear of asking someone that I liked out. And then when I got over the fear, it ended up well. I was like, oh fuck yeah, we can do this.
Old Jake's reaction would have been.
Oh, old Jake's reaction. I would have texted you and been like, man, I don't really want to do anything anymore. I'm fucking mad and sad at the same time. And I bet you she's fucking full of shit. Well, she's probably not.
Right.
But like, I would have taken like the worst case scenario, you know what I mean, and ran with it and thought that it was factual,
Right.
When in reality, it's just, it's bad timing. Shit happens. And I don't, and actually, like, it was like, when it happened, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. And then I was like, I was like doing some cleaning in my room, and then I was like, well, wait a minute, I have the night off. I'll text Dave and we'll just pump out this episode we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm having a fucking fine time. I'm not even, this is fun. It's a little odd we're doing it on Wednesday, but that's my fault because I'm very good at stand up. I said I was going to jerk myself off. I'm fucking going for it all, man. Fuck it.
Here. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I would love to do it tomorrow, but I actually am good enough to get booked on it.
We just rub that in.
I tried not to be good, but I just can't.
I can't. It's fucking. I'm just amazing.
I just crush. It's
it's fucking strangest thing. But no, I mean, I would have been like super bummed out about it. It would have like ruined my fucking month. I would have been like, yeah, I'm not gonna ever do that again. I'm not gonna ask someone out. I'm not gonna fucking. Blah, 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 blah. And like now I'm just like, all right. And the reason why that is because I've done some things. One of the things I've been doing, which I recommend to a lot of people, is look into Carl Jung. Look into Carl Jung. He is a shadow guy. That whole, like, that Tool song, 46 and 2 and all that shit like that. That's a whole philosophy of basically bringing yourself current into all of your life. As far as, like, don't have shit in your background that you haven't dealt with yet. Like, how you feel about your parents, that's in the background. How you this happened to you X amount of years ago. You never dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, like, they'll be like 40 years old and they act like they're fucking 15 because when they were 14, something bad happened, and they never dealt with it, so they just threw it in their shadow and they just fucking festered and festered and festered, and they just ignore it. But it's also oozing into other parts of your life where, like, all of a sudden you're catching yourself flipping out on a fucking gas station attendant.
Right.
Because you don't have a good relationship with your dad,
Right.
It's just stupid shit like that.
You start unloading on an old lady. Who's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
get you
yeah.
For some ribs or something.
I mean, but sometimes I fucking deserve it. Fuck them.
Yeah. No, she had some shit too. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing is, and she's bringing all that shit to me.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Unfortunately for her, I also have some shit.
Yeah. But
you were doing that, but you were doing a lot of that work, and then there was also some psychedelics and stuff involved. Right?
Yes, that was a big help. That was a huge help.
But that was a tool though. That was like, it's not like,
Yeah. Mushrooms are great, but it's one of those things too where I know I can't abuse it.
Well, I think there's weird.
can't.
I think not talking about anybody specific, but I've seen some of this in the past where it's like, oh, I've been doing mushrooms. Okay, everything's worked out now. I got everything fixed.
Oh no.
And I'm like, okay.
It's
it's like it's a weird. It's not like you can. There's still work that needs to be done, and it's scary. It's scary freaking shit. Like that movie Revolver, the one that I loaned Armstrong.
Yeah.
It was about your ego basically is your worst enemy, but you think that it's your friend.
Yeah.
And it's always with you, and it's always manipulating you and stuff, and how to be able to really acknowledge that. Like everything when I was just talking about the anger in the restaurant, a lot of that's my ego. There's some other shit in there too, but it's
well,
it's a process and stuff. I think it's freaking great, man, that like you took a disappointment without flipping the chess game over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also like it's the thing where like you can't take shit personal, man. You just can't. And because like best case scenario, this is like a terrible way to put this. Best case scenario, she is sick, and it sucks. You know what I mean? But like, and she's sick, and whatever.
She's got the vid.
Yeah, whatever.
Hopefully she's got
or the Rona, one of the two. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, or a worst case scenario, she said, "Fuck this! I don't want to hang out with this fucking dude." Went off and did something else. That doesn't fucking do with you. Like it's not your. Don't take it personal. It's like, okay, well then she didn't want to do it in the fucking first place.
Yeah.
And that's why get mad at that.
Or maybe you know what? Even let's say even if she really didn't want to, but she still wanted. She's like,
but she don't want to be rude and say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on this date, and now she's not really wanting, like hypothetically.
Yeah.
That now gets the situation be even more awkward. Like it's weird being on a first date with somebody.
Well, I mean,
I really enjoyed it. I loved it when I was dating. I really enjoyed that first date because I love talking to people, right? But there are those times where you're like somebody who really doesn't want to go on the date, but they don't want to say no. And now you're sitting there for dinner, and you're like, they don't want to be there, and I'm like, fuck, man, what? This is like not fun at all. Like if you don't want to be here, I wish you would have just said no, or or maybe they did, and I didn't pick up on it.
I mean, but like again, if that is the case, which I mean, whatever, it probably isn't, but just for argument's sake, it is.
Yep.
So what? Okay, that's fine.
Right.
That's on her if that's the case. That just means, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you did it too, you'd be just a dishonest dick who just didn't want to do it in the first place. But like at the same time, like, I mean, that's on you. It's not on them. It's not an aspersion on them. It's just what it is. So you just got to go, oh, okay. I mean, but like so many people will flip the fuck out, and they'll like talk shit or like not talk to the person no more, but act shitty around them. Like how fucking, because they take it like it's a slight against their ego. Like, how dare you do this to me? Like that kind of shit. And it's like, dude, no. Like sometimes
I've had that experience before though, but there was just one girl that she it was pretty weird because I met her in a swinger club.
Oh, okay.
So it was always a very kind of a sexual element, even though we never actually had sex. But she wanted a boyfriend, but I wasn't really going for a relationship, but just still kind of flirt a little bit.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, hey, why don't we go and, like, you want to go grab something, like we'll go hang out or something like that. I'm like, okay, maybe. I don't know.
That's how I approach it with her.
Because every now and then, like, I would see her at a club, and we'd still kind of talk and kind of hang out, and it was kind of cool. Like, all right, well, maybe I'll feel different. I don't know. And then she'd break the plans like an hour before I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
That would upset. I'm like, all right, first one, all right, shit happens.
Yeah.
Second time, I did kind of come undone because I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck, man? Like, well, this is, and I'm like, it's just, to me, it was like disrespectful. But in one hand, yes, it was rude of me to react that way. On the other hand, it was also me standing up for myself and saying, no, I am upset by this.
Yeah.
Now granted, was I acting rationally? No, I wasn't.
Yeah, no, that's
Absolutely, I was not. But, it's one of those things where, maybe this was the inadvertent topic of the evening, or
I know, right? If we just kind of walked into this one,
yeah, exactly. Is how to deal with disappointment.
Yeah,
because like it can be really, really like I liked how you dealt with it. Like, yeah, I'm not going to take it personal. I was thinking as you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, I could be walking down the street and there's like a bunch of women going about their lives just like anybody else, and they don't want to go out to dinner with me either. I'm not pissed off that because somebody that I'm not even talking to.
yeah, right.
How dare all these women not want me? That's an absurd. That's kind of an absurd thing to think. So it's like, I think if to put that in focus, where it's kind of like, oh, it's all right. I'm just not on the radar and stuff. There's plenty of girls out there, but I think the more, this is gonna sound so douchey. The more you actually live your life, I don't want to say best life. I just say live your life. The more eventually you start you gain more visibility to the rest of the world, right? The rest of the world gets to see more of you when you're living the life that you want to live. And it's a matter of time, man. It's kind of like, all right, guys, you know, sometimes you'll see a girl where it's work or maybe it's at a gas station or a bus stop or on a street corner at 3 a.m, and you're like, wow, she looks amazing. You know, there's something about it. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this girl, or at least a couple of days. Yeah. This is
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. But the whole thing is stuff is like women feel that too. They if the right gal sees you doing something that you love to do, they're gonna get in your life. You know what I mean? It's just, in the meantime, rather than taking everything personal like I used to do, and how Jake doesn't now because he's way smarter.
Doesn't is a pretty absolute. I try really hard not to.
You have tools now to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's a really good thing. Yeah, because it's kind of like when I used to think about like addiction and stuff, I was like, all right, there's a chance I'm gonna freaking go off the deep end, or there's a chance that I'm not. Right now, my odds are, I would say it's 1 in 4. Right, like it's on a 4-sided die, and I need to hit a 1 in order to not go on the deep end.
Yeah.
And then eventually I get more tools, and then it's like it's 1 through 3 out of 4, and then it goes to a 6-sided die. The probability gets better the more tools that you get. Then it goes up to a 20-sided die. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, when I see this, I have different ways to deal with it now, instead of just going back and just going into, you know, monster emotional butthurt guy.
Yeah.
mode.
And like also like think about it like this, like let's say hypothetically, like I said before, like she was like, nah, like she had like second thoughts, like, nah, I don't want to fucking hang on this dude, fuck this guy.
Right.
I'm not saying that's the case, but saying like, just for argument's sake, to make my point. All right, well then, guess what? You fucking missed out. Fucking, you know, I'll carry on. Trust me, I do cool shit. Like I'm personable guy, I'm pretty decent dude. I do some fun shit. If you don't want to be a part of this, all right, well, that's your fucking loss. Yeah. Fair enough. And I don't hate you. I'm not like, fuck you. I'm just like, no, all right, well, I mean, it's like asking someone, hey, you want some of this? And they go, no. And like, all right, fine, I'll just fucking eat myself. Fuck you.
It's almost, that's a really important step as far as like establishing value in oneself. Value, to establish value in anything, guys, there's 2 parties that need to be involved. One, the person who's selling, and the person who's buying.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're saying, hey, I'm selling my dick for $1 million, that dick is not worth $1 million until somebody buys it for $1 million. Right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, hey, you know, like you said, like, I know I'm a good guy, I got things to offer and stuff, I'm really interesting. Boom, you've got that, and at least now you've at least set the bar for where the value is going to be, and somebody's going to freaking pick up on that. I know they will. This girl will probably. She gets over that COVID freaking disease she's got. That's the only thing that kept this girl from Hamilton.
She's just COVID. Like, I got the woo flu. My bad. No, I don't know. She probably just wasn't feeling well. That's fine. No, exactly. But no, I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, it's just you go on. I mean, what if she is, and she's like, you know, and then like a week later, she's like, hey, thanks for being like cool about that, and not being a dickhead.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Points right there without even fucking trying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, exactly. Like, it's going to, you know, because, like, I guarantee you, because guys are fucking insane, I guarantee you this has happened before to her where, like, she's like, listen, I don't feel well. I don't think we should do this tonight. Maybe we'll hang out later. And some guy's probably like, oh, yeah, you fucking bitch. Like, it just writes back, like, how dare you fucking waste my time. You know what? Guess what probably happened? She never talked to that motherfucker again.
Yeah, more like
and he fucking deserved it because he's like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, don't. Why you gotta take shit like that so fucking personal? Just relax.
Right.
If you're really that hung up on this one person, and you get devastated like this, dude, that's a huge red flag for anybody.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
And I wouldn't blame that person for being like, I don't think we should ever talk again.
There's many girls that stopped talking to me after I got all.
Yeah. I was
deservedly so.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Trust me, this is a lot of fucking like, oh, yeah, I used to do that. Fuck. Ooh, okay. It's like that My Pillow guy watching someone hit a crack pipe. You're like, oh, I know what that was. I don't do that no more. But I just fight battles with Dominion voting machines. But I don't smoke crack no more.
I don't smoke crack.
Yeah, but I remember that. I remember I used to fuck up that bad. I don't do that no more.
I always get crazy when somebody says, "Thank God I never used the needle, though."
Yeah. It's a low bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Stole from a family, betrayed everybody that cared about me, but thank God I never used a needle.
Yeah, thank God.
Inadvertently killed a bunch of people and a bunch of DUIs and everything. Committed grand larceny and set a couple pieces of houses on fire.
Yeah.
Thank God, though, didn't use the needle. You know, I'm like, what? I guess. I don't know. Well, that's a weird another.
Yeah.
We should have added that to the affirmations.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Listen, use the fucking needle.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
somebody's gonna watch this at some point and rave. They're like, "Fuck you guys, man! You know how hard it is not to use a needle. I bet you don't. You're right. I don't.
I don't. I hate fucking needles. My veins do not cooperate.
Fair enough.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like, it's not a big deal. That's why Oh yeah. Just shove that thing right up your ass. Who gives a shit? Fucking, just and then, heroin right in your asshole.
Right.
Actually, that's what Jason Mewes used to do it.
Oh, really?
From Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, he said that they were talking about, they were having like drug stories, and I guess he used to shoot up in his asshole.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's like him saying that. It wasn't like hearsay. He was on an interview on Opie and Anthony. He's like, they're talking about like, how did you used to hide? He goes, I shoot it in my asshole. No one's gonna look at your asshole unless they want to look at your asshole. Like, that's a pretty direct fucking thing to go look at. That takes a lot of time and patience and really wanting to see someone's asshole. So that's what he used to do. But I guess he's been sober for a long time. He's been sober
for quite some time.
Very long time, yeah.
Oh, you want to hear something that's really interesting? Speaking of the Smodcast, folks, Barry McLean Jr., who's been on my podcast, on the Disjointed podcast before, right? He was on I Sell Comics today.
Okay.
The podcast with Ming Chen and Mike. I forgot what the guy's name was.
Langworthy?
No. But either way, it's like one of the biggest comic book podcasts out there. I was listening today, and I'm like, oh man, I was so proud of him. He's got some books actually. They're actually getting professionally done. The guy hustles constantly.
Good.
He's a fucking great dude. And I met him by giving him a drive with Lyft. And we started talking about Batman Arkham City.
Oh, you telling me about this dude. Yeah.
It was just the most random way that I met this dude. And like immediately, as soon as we start talking about video games and comics, like, boom, we're right there. Yeah. It's freaking great. So shout out to Four Color Demons, Burn Lent Till Dead, Stay Broke, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry I cut you off there. I had to
I'm just a huge fan of Kevin Smith's movies. I'm not a big comic book person, but
I didn't like his last two, man.
I'm old school with him. Like, I love Clerks.
Yep.
I'm one of the few people that love Mallrats.
It is fun.
I'm one of the few people that love Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Dogma was amazing.
Dogma was great.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was fucking awesome.
Yes.
Red State, fucking great.
Didn't see Red State. I should have watched it. I should have seen it. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Clerks 2 is so fucking hilarious.
There is something about Rosario Dawson that she can make me fall in love with her in every fucking role that she plays.
Oh, yeah.
She's an amazing actress, but it's like there's always something that I'm like, God damn,
she's one of those chicks who's gonna be hot until she's like 80 fucking years old.
There's
you know what I mean? Like you'd be like, she's like 75 years old. She's like in a walker. You'd be like, I'd still tap that.
Yeah. I think. Well, you know what it was is like that. There's different types of hotness, right?
Yeah.
There's like glamour, like model hot.
She's like beautiful. That's the
thing.
She's
absolutely beautiful, but she also has girl next door hotness. That's one of the things that's. I think that's why so many guys can like. Oh man, that's
Yeah, she falls in that camp of like Jennifer Aniston.
See, I never liked.
No, but like you can understand why though, right? Like you get it. Like I mean, it probably isn't, but like every year she looks better. Like her and Friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. But like her and like what was that one movie with Michael Sudeikis or Jason Sudeikis? The one where like they're drug dealers and they're faking to be a family.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Millers or something like that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, if Friends Jennifer Aniston walked in while I'm talking to that chick, that Jennifer Aniston, I'd tell her to get fucked. Because the one that's older is like so hot.
The one she did with Adam Sandler that was on Netflix.
Yeah,
that one was really good. This is the only thing that bugs me about Jennifer Aniston. It's the same thing that bugs me about Barbara Streisand. And this is so stupid. This is a very fucking film nerdy thing. Is that the way that her hair is lit in every shot in every movie that she's in?
Yeah,
it's always the same way. It's always with a glow and it's always with a slight breeze.
Her and horrible bosses.
Yeah, I got to see that. I got to check
all
it
day, all fucking day.
But
dyed her hair black. She was like dressing all slutty and stuff. It was not bad.
I think what it was is when you remember Office Space.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was in that, had a small part in it. And the part that kind of got me, because her hair is one of her biggest things about her persona in every movie. If you notice, that's one of those things. It's kind of like Meg Ryan had the same haircut for a good 10 years because that's what she was always cast at.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way that Jennifer Aniston's hair is, where she was working as a waiter, I'm like, there's no fucking way they would not tell her to put her hair back in a ponytail because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was stupid little things like that. But
The one with the flare.
yeah, Kate Winslet is another another actress that
Yeah.
she could always, whether she's playing like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I think was one of my favorite films that she did. Titanic was great, obviously, but that's like a big major film. But
Yeah.
she's just like a really, really good actress.
Yeah, I mean, it's some people just don't lose it.
Yeah.
Some people though hit the fucking wall, like Mickey Rourke and shit. Like that's
You know what that guy? What I think what happened, because that dude was like the heartthrob in Hollywood for
Oh,
a
yeah.
good 4 or 5 years, right?
yeah.
He fucking not Braveheart.
He was in like that the
9.5 Weeks was a big thing. Oh, dude, The Pope of Greenwich Village is one of my favorite fucking films. Did I ever show you that the one that's the most accurate restaurant scene of a restaurant manager that I've ever fucking seen in any movie, which I could show you to later and stuff.
Yeah,
That's pretty amazing. But him and Eric Roberts, absolutely great. He was on top of the world. And then at some point, I think he got like some plastic surgery that didn't go quite well.
Ooh.
And then he decided, he's like, I just want to be a boxer. I don't want to be in movies and everything. And you didn't see him for a long time. So like if you look at early 90s Mickey Rourke versus like 2000 Mickey Rourke, you're like, what the fuck, man?
yeah.
Like it's pretty weird. Like
And then he came back with The Wrestler, the movie. The
amazing
Wrestler.
movie.
Yeah. Anyway, I think did he win an Oscar? He's nominated for that,
I
right?
think he was nominated, but that was I remember like after one of the screenings and stuff, there was a couple of wrestlers there, and Roddy Piper was like, finally, this is a movie that actually it's has the most accurate description of a wrestler's life.
Yeah. And then he died. And then Roddy Piper died.
Yeah, that was a bummer, man.
Yeah.
Because he was hanging around at the Comedy Store a lot, I guess.
Well, the guy was in like one of the awesomest movies ever. They Live. So I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. No, he was always freaking great. I
But-
read his book. He was definitely off his rocker.
Oh yeah. He's a wrestler. He probably CT like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, more like it.
So did we skip our 5 minutes or no? I think we did.
I think we did because we're already at a little over an hour.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But yeah, just don't take shit when you're trying to deal with women. Cause I'm trying to date again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. It's one of those things. If you don't want to be lonely, then don't fucking be lonely. Try and fucking get your shit out there.
Right.
But I'm basically have the game of a fucking nervous 15-year-old. I'll be honest with you.
But it's all about learning different skills and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, like it's, I'm really lonely. I want to meet somebody. I can't ever meet anybody. Well, then you need to learn new skills
Yeah.
because otherwise, whatever shit that you're working that you have right now isn't enough. So we got to learn something else. So new different coping skills and stuff like that.
Yeah, and understanding like you can't. I mean, I was always petrified of like not. It wasn't the no that I was worried about.
Mm-hmm.
It was the no, comma ew type of shit, or like, oh my god, can you believe that he asked me out? Oh my god, that's gross. I like lived in fear of that. Like
Right.
when in reality, they're not. Most times they're just either gonna go yeah, totally, or they're gonna go no, no, thank you.
Young girls do that.
Do they?
Yeah, young
That's why I
girls
don't
will
fuck
do
with
that.
them, but
Well,
they-
yeah, exactly. No, young girls would do that because
Yeah.
at that point, I mean, think about it, man. In high school, they're locked in a fucking building with a bunch of horny dudes. They're all trying to, like,
Yeah.
trying to get their attention, trying to get their approval, and do all this other stuff. And then after high school and and college and everything, that all starts whittling away because eventually guys start finding,
Yeah.
lives and everything like that. And then like when they get into their 40s and stuff, I think this sounds so fucked up, but any girl's like, I can't believe this guy asked me out. I'm like, you're 48 right now. You should be lucky that anybody.
Yeah, that anybody was like, hey, you want to hang out? Yeah.
That goes for guys too, but let's be honest. There's a big difference. Like guys don't get out. The amount of times that a guy gets asked out in his late 40s is a little bit less than what he did in his 20s.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, well, I spent the thing is, I spent all of actually a vast majority of my 20s up until about 28 years old with the same fucking person. Like,
Yeah.
so I was married or I got a deep relationship with the same person. And then when I was like 28, I had to start all over again. And I had,
It's rough. Yeah.
I dated a few here and there, but it was mostly chicks that liked me. And it was on a tee for me. And that's, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, we'd start dating, and then we'd start banging, and then we start having sex, and then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks of just us just fucking like rabbits. And then all of a sudden, it's like after the 2 weeks, the dust settles, we go, oh, this doesn't work at all. We have nothing in common. We don't really like the same shit.
Right.
All this stuff. Like when you actually have to do like regular shit with the person, and then you start realizing like, oh, we're both fucking dumb for doing this.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't work. And then you start getting frustrated because it's like, it's every fucking time. It's just 2 weeks of 2 weeks of 2 weeks. Like a lot of my relationships go that long because I do all right when it comes to that kind of shit.
Right.
Not bragging. I mean, actually, it's kind of a curse, to be honest with you. Because these are situations. No, these are situations where like this should have only been 1 or maybe 2 times we hung out.
Why, God?
Yeah, but then like we end up having like crazy sex and shit for like about 2 weeks because it's fun.
Right.
And then but then your emotions get involved, and you're like, oh, I like this person, and then they look at you and go, oh, I don't like you at all. I just wanted to get fucked by you a couple times, and that was about it.
Well, you used to like me a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, but that's over.
But because I'm so like emotionally like, you know, like, immature, I guess. Would that be the word I want to use?
No, I wouldn't call it that.
It wouldn't be. I don't know. It was just I was so needy for someone in my life. I guess you can put it that way.
Right.
Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. So like then when they would break up with you, because you had all these intimate moments with them, it would crush you, and you'd be like, oh my, you know. When in reality, that should have been like 1 or 2 times we had sex, and then fucking we're done. Like it was like, all right, we're done here.
My first wife should have been that, and then I tried to make something out of it. So you know.
Oh yeah. But like it's just you know, I mean.
What are you gonna do? We're all living and learning, guys.
Yeah, I mean that's what part of the deal. But like now, because I'm older, and I start just kind of noticing, like now I'm actually more attracted to personalities than anything. You know, before it was like, hey, you know, hey, look, she's got this or that or whatever. It's all physical stuff.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I mean, recently, trust me, this is a recent development. Excuse me, in my life, because I've chased some chicks that were hot, but not good. not good for me. But like I like personalities now. Like I'm more of like, I mean, yeah, I'm physically attracted to you, obviously, but you're actually, if you seem cool, that's a huge bump up. So
yeah, a lot of the times is also trying to figure out or being accepting of the fact of what type of girl finds you attractive.
Yeah.
Versus just what you want. Like if there was a Venn diagram over here, you've got the type of girls you're attracted to. Over here is the type of girls that are
attracted.
Yeah, and then in the middle is kind of where you're at. So it's like I don't know how this is gonna sound really weird. The first time an African American girl was interested in me, it kind of threw me off because I didn't think that she would find me attractive. Just because I was also a teenager and everything, and this is also like I'm just really, really ignorant about a lot of shit.
So apparently that trait from your dad never got passed down?
Yeah. It's having a big body and a big voice, man. That's but it was just one of those things where I'm like, oh, okay, so I know nerdy chicks might find me attractive, and I also know another type of gal might, okay. And then it's just sometimes it's like it catches by surprise where you're like, why do you find me? You know,
it is a weird feeling when you're someone's fetish. That's a weird one.
Yeah, that can go either way. That could be good or bad, guys.
There was a girl that I worked with at the Uno's that I quit when I threw the squeegee like it's javelin to the dish pit. She was like 21 years old, black girl. Cute, very cute. She was hot. She was built like a dump truck. She was fucking nice. She liked me a lot.
Right.
I mean, a lot. And we were going to hook up one night, and I fucked it up because she said she had to go to the bathroom. And I took that as like legitimately she had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
When in reality, she was like, I'm basically going to the bedroom and I'm waiting for you to come in. And I didn't know that because I was stoned. And I took her at her word that I didn't want to walk in and like be like, hey, here's my dick while you're taking a shit.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I mean?
What if that turns into
Yeah, what if it's that scenario? I'm like, what if she legitimately had to use the bathroom? And I'm just like, you're like pissing, and I walk in and be like, you want some of this dick? Like, you would be like, get out of my house.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly what you said anyways.
Yeah. But that's what I thought. Like, no. She just let her use the bathroom. She'll come back out. Waits like 5 or 10 minutes, comes back out, goes, puts her arm on my back and goes, there's the door, and leaves. And I was like, okay. And I think of it. And then like a few months later, she was hanging out with some of my friends because we worked together. And she goes, oh my God, I can't believe I almost fucked that guy, meaning me. And I didn't realize that that was the plan that night. And I was like, oh, no. But the reason why she liked me is because she had a thing for, like, dorky white guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, like, after working with her for a while, I would see these dudes that she'd be hanging out with, and it was just, like, the dorkiest fucking white dudes ever. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't that she liked me. She liked, like, I'm part of her, like, what she's into. It's like me with Italian chicks.
Yeah.
Like, that's that's what it is. It was.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
God bless her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
awesome.
complaining. No,
That's a good trait to have, and this I still have never found a way to make this bit work. But I'm like, what do you guys want for? What do you think world peace looks like? It's not a bunch of people hanging out and not fucking each other.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like you want this world to be a better place. Fuck an ugly person.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Put your money put your mouth where their money is. All right, you gotta fucking. You know what I'm talking about.
That'd be a hell of a foundation. It's a picture of Steve Buscemi. Fucking ugly person.
Just like, world peace.
Yeah, come on. For $1 a day, you could fucking ugly person.
Less than that, they'll be happy though. Just
Have some sort of a hilarious version of Arms of an Angel playing in the background, where just black and white photos of just dudes that are just haggard as fuck, or just rolled a double snake eyes on their DNA.
That goes both ways too, guys. By the way,
yeah, you got it. Yeah, hey.
There's a divorced freaking single lady that never figured out how to actually act in social situations. She's 54. She smells like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Not sure when she took a shower. Guess what? That's an ugly person. Fucking take one for the team. You want the world to be a better place? There you go.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is going to be tough. I don't know how we're going to get this message out there, but we'll figure out something.
Finger blast her where she's like, yeah, thanks a lot, sweetheart. She's puffing on a Pall Mall.
Exactly.
Like,
I want to get that finger checked.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
We'll buy some Franzi a box wine for her.
Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to make you're very angry all the time. I thought maybe this might help. But then again, that sounds like a typical guy reaction. We're like, how do we use our dicks to solve the world problem?
This will make you feel better. I don't know.
I jokingly, like, I know when Jenny's having a bad day, I'm like, is there anything my dick can do? And she's like, she's just like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm fresh out of ideas.
I know. When I was married, I used to do that shit all the time. Dude, getting laid when you're married is the fucking funniest shit. Because you'd be like, I'm having a bad day. I'm like, do you want me to, like, fuck you? And you're not like, it's not like you're like, you want to have sex? You're just like, hey, it's like, do you want me to? It's like you're asking her, like,
it's like a back rub.
No, but like you're asking her as if it's like some sort of like checklist of things I could possibly do for you. And the first one is like, do you want me to put my dick in you? And they go, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay, do you want me to like make you some soup? I don't. It's so.
And the two would be like, are you sure?
Yeah. Well, sometimes they go. There's been a few times where she'd be like, yeah, sure, let's see what that does. And we bang out, and then she'd be like, oh, I do feel better, or whatever. Like,
I hope so.
Yeah. Like, gets over your thing, but like, yeah, when you're married trying to get laid, it's hilarious because there's no romance to it. You're just like, hey, listen, you want to, before we go to bed, I know you're getting a big day tomorrow. You wanted to just get one out real quick? And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. They roll over, you fucking, I mean, it's great, but it's just, there's no, like, it's just like I don't know. It's like that scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin when Paul Rudd and what's her face, where they're in the bathroom brushing their teeth, and like, do you want to have sex? She's like, oh, I don't know. I just had burritos today. I don't know if it's a good idea. And they're like, okay, I guess tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, we can do tomorrow. Like it's scheduling a haircut. Yeah. It's fucking weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If to get the audio of this, you can go to mansplainingpod.com. That's where we have all the links for where this thing's on Spreaker. It's on Stitcher. It's on no, it's not on Stitcher yet. Oh. It's on SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Yep. We're on a bunch of different places. Which is, I think, the podcast app in India, which is, I think, is why
we're crushing India for some fucking reason, and I'm not complaining, but it's kind of weird.
When we do a tour, it's going to be Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, then Patna, India. That's where we're closing out the show. We're going to have 3 people there, and I'm appreciative of every single one of you guys. By the way, if you guys want to donate to the show, you could do it through Twitch, or we started one of those things now with Cash App. You could actually transfer Bitcoin to people.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Which was pretty awesome, is that if you want to give the show a nickel, you can do that. Just go to the $ disjointed Dave on the Cash App. If you haven't got the Cash App, fucking get it. It's a lot of great deals on it. You can buy stocks. You can buy Bitcoin. You can lose your whole rent. You can develop a gambling problem, or you can make a lot of money, or both.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's a lot of opportunity there. Let's see other things. Tomorrow, Long Tucky Spirits and Longmont.
Yeah.
And then also that show I have on the 12th. I don't know. Follow us on Facebook. We'll put up the dates on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else we want to plug or?
No, I got 20 seconds left. No, that's no. I mean, the You People show that I do on Mondays. Yeah, that's fine. And yeah, just don't take shit so seriously, and just roll on, man. Shit happens. Shit happens. Just fucking don't hold on to it, and don't hate other people just because. So
yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Enjoy your night.
Bye.
Bye.